Morning all. Moorland biker here in his man cave with a big smile on his face. I've got good news and I've got wonderful, well it is for me anyway. I'm in my rough, I'm in my overalls because I've just been putting the sidecar back on Daisy because she's fixed. That's the wonderful news. The good news is that I'm back to normal with my videos. With this one this was the highlight really. This one and the next one, possibly the next two. The next one's got to be split in two, I think, but either way this one and the next couple really were the highlight of my trip. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I was at Mojacar for 3 nights, and the first full day I just did a half day, and it's a run down the coast. I'll show you where I went anyway on the map. So it's a larger scale map, this is, so it's more clear really. Don't look too far to the left because that'll give the game away for the next couple. So we're here at Mojacar, and I'd read somewhere that the coast road down to Carboneras, just there, is pretty good. It's better than good. It's absolutely brilliant. So what I did from there was I sort of came round. I was on the main road really for a short distance, and then round, and yeah, dual carriageway a little bit, but that was to get to this jump off point here to Cabreras. And this road, this single track, it was almost Green Lane in quality. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Round to Touré, if that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. But as I came round to Touré, I saw signs for these are Cabrera Mountains up here, up to 919 meters, which is just over 3,000 feet, you know, so they are mountains really. And it was Urbanization Cabrera, and so I took a run. I don't think the road's actually on here. I took a run up to it, and the urbanization isn't marked on here either, but you'll see on the video, it's beautiful. I think it's fairly recent, but it's the style it's built in is absolutely great. Then down to, I can stop for a cup of coffee, and sat next to a table with 3 Brits on it, and all as we sat there, all 3 of them subscribed to my channel. It was amazing really. Down to Touré and then back on the road in, and I was looking to get into the pueblo, into the old village, and I kept taking wrong turnings off that. The sat nav wasn't making any sense, but either way, anyway, I eventually took a wrong turning and ended up where I wanted to be, where I couldn't find my way to, which was amazing. But so yeah, I had a ride up into the pueblo, the old village, which was magic really, and then came back down to the hotel, and then went for a swim. I didn't film myself coming out the water like Daniel Craig. No, I didn't. Did think about it, but I didn't. So there, that was it. Yeah. Almeria is just a wonderful place, and you'll see in the next one after this, just amazing. It's just, you just look at the map and it's just amazing. Anyway, that's where we went. So yeah, pretty good. It was pretty good. Well, I think so anyway. You'll let me know what you think, I'm sure. So have a look through it, and yeah, if you enjoy it, and well, give us a thumbs up anyway if you would. If you didn't like it, let me know. I mean, it has happened in the past, but only once. Yeah, so you know, and of course subscribe if you haven't done already, and hit that notification bell. It lets you know when my next videos, if you want to watch them all of course, but anyway, see what you think. Cheers. Well, good morning, welcome back. We're off out for a little jaunt along the coast from this hotel, this mighty fine hotel here at Mojacar. and Blizzard's ready and waiting to go. Can you see? She's not really held together with zip ties. Had a bit of a disaster. The bracket broke whilst we were going across the Smuggler's Trail. Bit too bumpy, I think, for the poor old brackets, plastic brackets. Anyway, zip ties are wonderful. So let's go and see what this coast road's like. Now, this is my first time down here, so I know nothing about the area at all. I have a map. I have a map that's got so many squiggly lines on it. More squiggly lines per square kilometre, of course, not square mile down here, it's square kilometre, than I've ever seen on a map. And having watched and economical rides videos, economical rides is more local to here, I think. Gary, his name is. All those little squiggly lines, there's no guarantee they're actually tarmac. So we could have a bit of fun in front of us, but it's just a couple of hours this first little trip. This is where I came from a pizza last night, just on the right here, the Piemonte. Very nice pizza it was too. It's all effectively part of Mojacar. This is the holiday resort section, I suppose you'd say, of Mojacar, whereas the bit that really interests me is the original Mojacar, the pueblo that I pointed out on the way in, the village that's built on the hillside. Really must have a look at that. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Of course, the other thing that's got to happen probably this afternoon, I've got to dip a toe in the Mediterranean. Hopefully more than just a toe, but I've got my budgie smugglers with me, so anything can happen. Love to know what that tower is out there. It's like one of those Martello towers. But of course, I tend to forget that, I mean, the history of this, certainly this southern part of Spain, is very much involved with the Moors, the Moroccans, many centuries ago. There are Islamic kingdoms across here. Just thinking about that tower back there, I might be wrong I suppose, but once the Moors have been kicked out, I suppose, and Spain had become European again, I should say, then there would be defences built to fend off any return by the Moors. Because with the Europeans would come Christianity, I suppose, really. I'm just theorising here. I could be quite wrong. It's absolutely lovely riding hereabouts. Looks like we've got some bendy bits in front of us. This is after all what I came for. This is really nice. With the hills on the right and the sea on the left and the windy road between. That was almost waxing lyrical, wasn't it, really? But let's not go too far with that. Oh, look at the view down there. Oh, God. Oh, look at the bends. This is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. No idea to expect that. I've got to go back and get a photograph, so I'll switch off for a moment while I go and do the photograph business. And well, photographs duly taken, and back on the way with this little final flourish of twisty bits before we get down to sea level again. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh, nice little viaduct. I couldn't see what was running under that viaduct then, but one thing I've noticed, and I've read about as well, lots and lots of Ramblers, R-A-M-B-L-A. And the most famous Rambler, I suppose, really is the street in Barcelona. Not that I've been to Barcelona, but I've read about it. I think the Rambler there goes past the famous unfinished cathedral. Well, that's something for the future for me. But no, Rambler, in true terms, across here is a dried up riverbed. Sometimes they do run with water during spates, flash floods, that sort of thing, but generally speaking a Rambler is, as I say, a dried up riverbed, and some of them are quite rideable apparently. I'm not here long enough to explore that sort of possibility, but oh, I could enjoy myself down here, I really could. The settlement we're heading for before we turn inland and come back through the mountains is Carboneras. At which point I'll have to consult the map. These are all from England, these cyclists. I've just been chatting to them at the viewpoint where I was taking my photographs. It's a good old-fashioned VW out there. One from the 80s. Had two of those. And here we are at Carboneras. This is about as far up the coast as we go on this ride, and there's the village, well, town down to our left, Carboneras. Downtown Carboneras. Right, I've got a little bit of working out to do now, so I'll switch off and come back when I've made my mind up. Well, I consulted the map and I'm aiming for Cabreras. I'm trying to work a route that doesn't take me on big main roads, and there's a little white road, a little squiggly road I'm aiming for to get back across to Mojacar. But I have to admit, when I'm working somewhere that I don't know, I tend to put all my faith in the sat-nav. Doesn't always work out, but at least Sally sat-nav does tend to get me to my destinations. And what I'm doing with this one, with it being an area I just don't know, I'm running on a series of destinations and linking them together, so she can't possibly try and take me onto the motorway, because that's the last thing I want. I've had enough motorways for a couple of days. So that was Carboneras, done and dusted. So now we're going to take to the hills that I can see in front of us, hopefully. What amazing surroundings. The region we're in is Almeria, and a little further south, down towards Almeria, the city of Almeria itself, it's like a massive market garden. There's just acres and acres and acres of greenhouses and polytunnels growing all sorts of produce. Oh, that's a little bit of it. Like big temporary greenhouses. I'm going to switch off for a little while, and then when we get into the hills I'll switch back on again, so see you in a bit. I've switched on again. Yeah, ended up on a bigger road than I like to travel on, to be honest, but this just brings us to the squiggly roads again, shall we say. But I've switched on because I mentioned a few minutes ago about this massive market garden situation that they have going on here in Almeria, and along this road there's masses and masses of these temporary, well, what I call temporary greenhouses. I don't know if you can see it with this camera, but all across to the left of us, big patches of plastic, and that's what these places are, growing all sorts of produce in there. And this is the flatland out to the left of us that contains, a lot of it contains these overgrown greenhouses. Employ a lot of people, so I'm told. Right, now we're aiming for Garrifilos, and this place on the left here, or this, what remains on the left here, this I do know, it's the remains of a windmill. Windmills are going to come into this this trip in a few days' time, hopefully, but let's see what happens. Yes, we've nicely dived off the big road onto over the left of us, and yeah, it's a slower road this is, but it's a road less travelled, I suppose. More of this this greenhouse affair. Acres and acres and acres of it, I'm led to understand, here in Almeria. Look at the palm trees. It is desert. And even more so further into the hills where we're going tomorrow. So I understand anyway. Switching off for a few minutes, so yeah, see you in a bit. So here we are in Garrifilos, the next village on our wanderings this morning. Well, I think I know where I'm going, but you never know. We're aiming for a place called Turre, T-U-R-R-E, and hopefully we're going to find it. Because if we do, it means we will be riding right through the middle of Sierra Cabreras. Which is my intention all along. Just love riding through these villages. So good. This is what I was hoping for, to be honest. Not exactly Green Lane in, but fairly close. According to the signposts, this is the route to Torre por la Sierra, in other words, through the mountains, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Given the amount of squiggly white lines on the map for tomorrow's little exercise, could be interesting. It's where a little bit of local knowledge might come in useful occasionally, but sadly not this time. Royal Enfield. Just switching off a minute. Sorry about that. Just had to take a couple of photographs. It's just this view across the left here. It's what it's all about, really. It's wilderness. The Cabrera Mountains, or the Sierra Cabrera. It's just beautiful. Oh my. Well, you look at, oh, look at that view. How many of these views can a person put up with on one ride? You can see the road down below us. A couple of cyclists working their way up it. It's just stunning. It's mind-bogglingly stunning riding is this. Am I glad I came down here or not? Answers on a postcard. I was going to combine this trip with a little bit of I suppose you call it a bolt-on, really, an extra trip out to Morocco. Morocco still calls for me. I will get there eventually, but to be honest, the way things have transpired across there, in the past few weeks. I don't think I'd want to go to a country that's suffering so many problems with the thousands that were lost, and I really feel for them. And the earthquake. Look at the colours. Look at the colours there. Just look. It's it beggars belief. It beggars belief. I know the Moroccans are trying to encourage tourists to carry on visiting, because let's face it, tourism is one of their main industries, and if tourists stop going, then it does them damage. But I just can't bring myself to go into that sort of situation. I might be wrong, but this is a pretty good consolation prize. It is spectacular. So hope this video turns out. So many times I've shot what ought to be really good videos, and technology got in the way and spoilt it. But, oh God. It doesn't matter every which way you look, there is a spectacular view. Look at that out in front of us. I know the camera, it sort of flattens everything and foreshortens things, but I don't know any other way to describe it other than spectacular. Okay, I'm switching off again now. I've got to try and preserve this memory card, because I've got to try and plan it out properly so that I've got the videos I'm shooting on individual memory cards without running over into other memory cards. It makes sense to me. So I'll switch off for now, and I'll see you in a little bit. I just saw this from the valley bottom. Urbanization Cabrera. So I just got to come and have a look. I'm so glad I did, because what an amazing little place. It looks fairly recent. I wish I knew more about it. I'll try and find out this afternoon. I know I've said it so many times, but this little Himalayan, it's so perfect for the job. Yeah. What a tremendous place. Just look at that. I've got to have a cup of coffee. I've got to have a cup of coffee, yeah. See you in a bit. Just noticed my camera wasn't recording. So as I was saying, just in case it didn't record my comments, Just had a most enjoyable Diet Coke. Sat outside the cafe back there with a group of three holiday makers from England. Lovely conversation. Gave me a lot of ideas. But the upshot of it was, I've got 3 more subscribers. You just never know, do you? And as a result of the conversation, I've realised that I've got to come back. There's so much I'm not going to be able to squeeze into this little trip that I just have to come back. And if I do, I will not do it the same way as I've done it this time. It's one heck of a circuitous way to get around to coming down here. So in the future, should the opportunity arise, I'll take the long crossing to Santander or Bilbao, and then take 2 days to cross the country and down to the south to get amongst this stuff. It is just I just never expected this morning to pan out the way it has. So making our way back to Mojacar now. One of the reasons being I'm going for a swim this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a full day for me. Falabres, Tabernas or Tabana or Tabana. I'm going to have to sort out how to pronounce these places. I know I am. It's going to be a lot of exploring to do tomorrow to come up with the right sort of footage. What are those? Bear with. These things. Look like limes. No, they're not limes. And then the orange ones are the Sharon fruit. I wonder if they're Sharon fruit. I'll have a study when I get home. These are all new developments. They certainly appear to be anyway. Oh yeah. This is Turi. This was the next link in my chain, finding my way back to Mojacar. Looks like there's been some celebrations. I think we're in the middle of festival season at the minute. So yes, that was Turi, if indeed that is the way you pronounce it. So just a 10-minute run back into Mojacar now. Just at that mountainous skyline up there to the right. This is one spectacular country, a country full of variety. Now then, there's a, if I take the right turn on this traffic island, it takes me to the pueblo. I don't know how much I can ride through the pueblo, but I'd like to go and have a closer look, if it's alright with yourselves. So this is the pueblo of Mojacar. Quite a network. I don't think I can go any higher up, but suffice to say, yes, this is the original Mojacar. I'd have to have a look at it. There may be a way of getting up to the centre, but next time, a marvellous view again on the way down. When I first arrived yesterday, I felt a little bit overfaced by the whole situation. The pueblo above us, the masses of hotels down on the seafront, down on the playa. But I have to tell you, this place, I'm warming to this place, and it's not to do with the 30 degrees that the weather's giving us. Well, we've ended up right in the middle of the pueblo where I was trying to get to in the first place, totally by accident. Well, that was nice. Amazing. Right, I'm going to switch off while I sort myself out. Well, I misread the signs for Mojacar Playa.
and then ended up back back in the pueblo. But it was good, that, because it got me to where I was wanting to go in the first place. So now here we are, back at our temporary home, Hotel Mojacar Playa. I'm going to have to go in the supermarket at some point. Been under my room. Thanks for your company this morning. I've really enjoyed it. I just hope the results are as enjoyable as the ride to create them. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you could. And if you've not already done so, do what those 3 people did up the cafe up the top, and subscribe. I can't believe that, I really can't. Anyway, yeah. And if you've got any comments to make, please feel free. See you tomorrow.